Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. He's Mike Brenner. I'm Peter Lozak. We're the Odds Couple. We come to you from sportsbookreview.com, SBRodds.com. We're talking with Doug Upstone. This guy has been really doing it his whole career in the sports betting industry, and specifically the last 5 weeks of the NFL season. 13-2 against the spread in our show. And right now we're going to cover the Thursday night game, San Diego and Denver. This is an interesting one. Now, Mike Brenner, on the Monday show that we do, you gave Denver at -2.5, -120. That was a nice call because right now they're up to a 3 or 3.5 market wide. Pinnacle has 3 -113, and a bunch of places have a 3.5 already. So nice call there, Mike Brenner. You beat the line, move by a full half point. And this is a tricky one, right? It's a short week. Denver's coming off the loss. They go into San Diego, and San Diego just a team clearly with talent. You know, they're not going to get blown out most weeks, but they also give games away. They're kind of dysfunctional. Now they're getting 3 points here. Last year at San Diego, Denver won in a very low-scoring game, and then they went into Denver, and the game went to 47, but they also lost by a touchdown there. I guess you got to assume Denver has the edge, and maybe I'd be leaning to the under. You nailed it at -2.5. What do you think about 3 or 3.5?
I still like it. I just think there's only so many games that you can find a way to lose to where it doesn't start affecting you mentally. And now you got a coach that's absolutely on the hot seat with the GM saying we made the wrong call, I believe. And Phillip Rivers has got to just be getting fed up, and he's starting to contribute a little bit to the to the mistakes towards the end. So I think Denver gets a nice little break by getting away, and they regroup and say, wait a minute, we're the best for a reason. And this defense really, really buckles down. I think they're going to frustrate Phillip Rivers. I think Paxton Lynch is just going to manage the game. I think he's going to have a great week of practice, and I like it. I like Denver going in there.
Doug Upstone, San Diego as a team doesn't inspire confidence, but Denver is on a short week and as a road favorite here. What's your take on this game, Doug?
Yeah, when I look at this game, we'll start with Denver. I think their game plan to me is going to be relatively simple. I think they're going to look to rush the ball 30 times, or somewhere in that neighborhood, because what that allows them to do is control the action. Now, whether it's going to be Lynch or if it's going to be Simeon, and my reports are that Simeon is going to be ready to go. I think in either case, that's going to, if they're running the ball, that helps set up play action passing, which is what either quarterback does best. And against San Diego's, injury racked defense, I think there's going to be some real opportunities. Now, defensively, what Denver's going to want to do, they got fooled last week. I mean, it was a great game plan by Atlanta, and they really made it work. So when I look at, what they want to do is they're going to want to stuff the San Diego running game and then play tighter coverage on their receivers, especially on second and third down. And as Mike just mentioned, is that Rivers is showing some areas of frustration once again. And so if he starts just throwing the ball up in the air, I think we're looking at some possibilities, some tip balls and some interceptions, especially, in certain factors, against them. Now, San Diego, how they can beat or at least certainly compete with Denver is that, they got to feed the ball to Melvin Gordon. Now, he is fumbling a little bit too much, no question again, and his yards per carry isn't very good. But we saw last week, if you throw the receivers or running backs the ball down the field, that is one way to attack Denver. So I think San Diego will do that in this particular game. The other thing, too, that's really important is that when the Chargers went to the playoffs, I think it was 3 years ago, Phillip Rivers had a 69.5% completion percentage, yet still threw for over 8.2 yards per completion. So with that being the case, that means he's throwing shorter passes. I think that's how you're going to have to attack Denver's defense also and have these receivers make some plays. Defensively, San Diego can only do so much because of their limitations. They got to try and take away the run, hold up against the pass. Bottom line, though, in this game, I just don't see how you can not take Denver. I think they're clearly the better team. I think that, as Mike just mentioned, that San Diego finds a way to beat themselves. And now, they talk about bad luck, but having 10 turnovers in the last 3 games is not bad luck. That's poor execution. With Denver 10-0 against the spread on the road in their division, and the Chargers 1-8 against the spread in their division, I think Denver -2.5, -3, -3.5. They're still the play.
All right. Well, -3 is still available here at SBRodds.com. You can see which books have 3 and which have 3.5. Mike Brenner, that's got to make you feel good. An endorsement from the guru, right?
No doubt. And, exactly what Doug said. I really couldn't, there's nothing much more I could add to it. I did get a report, though, that Melvin Gordon with this fumbling, they're really getting, they might do what they did last year. They benched his ass for a minute. And also, I like the comment because I heard Mike McCoy say, we've been unlucky. Yeah, 10 turnovers. There's nothing unlucky about that. All right, that is about execution. execution, and that starts with the head coach. This team's a mess, and I think Denver's going to exploit it. I did hear that Lynch might be getting the start, even though Simeon should be ready to go. So we'll see what happens either way. I still like Broncos, and I'm glad Doug's on board.
All right, and I'm leaning under, but I'm not quite sure about it yet, so I'm not going to give it officially right now.
What is that number at?
45.5, 45 or 45.5. Mike Brenner, though, is official on Denver, -2.5. Doug Upstone, thanks so much for your thoughts, as always.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at SBRodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.